this is your Nimi Rija with you, and today we are moving into another chapter from the textbook Footprints Without Feet of grade 10. So today we'll be dealing with the making of a scientist. This was a chapter basically which was asked by many students. So I thought today we'll be doing this chapter. So name of chapter, as I told you, is the making of a scientist. So as you can see, this chapter is basically written by Robert W. Peterson. You have to know about Robert W. Peterson because he was basically a very famous person. He was basically an American newspaper writer, and later on he became a freelance writer for certain books, authors, etc. Okay, so now we move on to the story and we'll just look into what is the story all about. So as I have written over here, the making of a scientist is basically a story about a scientist itself. But then who is that scientist? The name of the scientist is Richard E. Bright. Few of you might be familiar with Richard E. Bright, especially those who are so much interested in science. Okay, so without wasting our time, we will directly move into his life. So basically, as you can see over here, Richard E. Bright, he basically grew up in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania, you might be familiar with the place. So story begins like this. At the age of 22, a former Scout of the Year excited the scientific world with the new discovery of how cells work. So this is how the story begins in the very first paragraph. But then after that wonderful introduction, they speak about this person's childhood, that is Richard E. Bright's childhood. So what did he do over there? He was the only child of the parents. And he was basically so much interested in reading. So basically he grew up with the help of reading. Okay, and where was he from? He was from basically Pennsylvania. And then what he's trying to say is, in Pennsylvania there's nothing much of baseball or football, but there was one thing what we could do in Pennsylvania. What was that? To collect things. So he used to collect whatever he used to get. But then there was one thing what he was so much interested in. What was that one thing? That one thing was butterflies. And it was said that right from his kindergarten onwards he started collecting butterflies. And it was said that that area where he was living, there were many butterflies found. And it's also said that by the time he was in second grade, he collected 25 species of butterfly. Can you imagine? Second grade means he might be 7 years or 8 years. By the time he could collect 25 different species of butterflies. From that itself we can understand his taste for all these kind of things. Okay, and always he had one thing in his mind. What was that one thing? He was always curious. He always wanted more and more and more. So that's one more thing. So as I told you in the beginning, he loved reading. Second thing, what did he do? He loved to collect things. What was the third thing he did? He became an eager astronomer too. Sometimes stargazing all night. That was the third thing what he did. Okay, reading, collecting things, and also gazing at the stars. So actually the parents might also be a little maybe didn't know which field he would take, because he was interested in reading as well as he was interested in butterflies, scientific things like that. And also he was just like an astronomer. He normally used to gaze at the stars. So these were the things he was interested in during his childhood. We all know, maybe in the childhood, if anybody asks you what do you want to be, you would say, I want to be a doctor. Then after 5 minutes, no, I want to be an advocate. Then you would say, no, I want to be a teacher. So it depends, it goes on changing. So this boy, the brilliant boy, Richard E. Bright, initially from his childhood, he liked all these little things. Then, his mother says over here, the mother was the only companion of Richard E. Bright. The basic reason was, when Richard E. Bright, the mother calls him Richie. Throughout the story, if you have read the story, you might have seen everywhere the mother has kept the name as Richie. The reason is because the mother used to call Richard as Richie. So when Richard lost his father while he was in grade 3, right from the childhood till then on, even after the death of the father, mother was a very close companion of Richard E. Bright. He was very close to the mother. They had a special bonding in between. And mother knew what to give at the child at the right time. That is one thing what we have to notice it. She and her son spent almost every evening at the dining room table. Okay, every evening they spent in the dining room table. And what they used to do, he loved to learn a lot of new things. And mother used to always help him with that. And he was a topper in every grade. He was a topper in every grade. There is one thing the mother is speaking. And then, as I told you, he was interested in so many things, but then he started losing his interest in butterflies. It was at that time mother gifted a book. I've written the name of the book over here. Yeah, Mother's Gift. The Travels of Monarch 10. Okay, so this book, The Travels of Monarch 10, was basically one book which actually put him back to this interest towards butterfly, and he started his more of interest towards the butterfly. There were a lot of things in this book, and it's also said there were a lot of experiments they had to conduct. So in this book, it was basically what increased the enthusiasm and curiosity of the child, Richard Bright. Okay, and it is also said in the book, it told how monarch butterflies migrated to Central America. So from the word monarch itself, you have to keep a note of it, because this was his later time, his love and passion towards the butterflies. That is one way how so there might be a question, how did the mother help him and all. So at that time you have to make a note of this. Mother used to basically help him out with a lot of things. Okay. The mother used to take him for trips. Okay, basically as he was interested in nature, mother used to take him for little trips. And mother also bought him, it's there in the textbook, please keep a note of it. Mother bought him telescopes, microscopes, cameras, mounting materials and other equipments that helped him to learn something new. So how did the mother help him? If that question comes, you have to write. Mother used to give him all these telescope, microscope, all the mounting things and things like that. And also her gift about the book, The Travels of Monarch. This book was also a leading thing towards Richard E. Bright's future. Now, moving on. So in this book, at the end of the book, readers were invited to help study butterfly migrations. They were asked to tag butterflies for research by Dr. Frederick A. Urquhart of the University of Toronto. So over here, basically they were asked to tag butterflies. And this was his passion for so many years. He started to tag butterflies and everything. It is also said that he would catch a female monarch and his basement, wherever they lived, the basement always used to fill with butterflies. Okay, basically his love towards butterflies was normally seen over here. And what did he do over there? He would, from the basement, he would learn the life cycle. He would take egg and then it would grow to caterpillar and then to pupa, then to adult butterfly. So he saw the life cycle of the butterfly. Okay, all these things happened when he was in school. So while he was in grade 7, what happened? There was a science fair. So what did he do? His entry was slides of frog tissues, which he showed under microscope. So he created an area where he could show them the tissues of the frogs, and which a person should come in and look into the microscope. This was his experiment for science fair. So at that time what happened? He didn't won any prize. He didn't won, he basically lost for it. So this was basically, it really affected him. Okay, he was a person who loved doing all these things, but then as he didn't win any prizes. So this basically let him literally down. At that particular thing, one thing he says is, I got a hint of what real science is. It was after this grade 7 science fair he understood what is the real science fair. And then he also said he realized the winners had tried to do real experiments, not simply making a display. So over here he was just displaying the tissue for the frog, and then he was asking others just to look into it. But over here he understood that was the wrong thing. It was not just displaying, but then we should showcase the experiment. So now what happened? While he was in 8th grade, he thought of having a wonderful thing. Okay, and also he took the help of Mr. Franklin. If you remember Mr. Franklin, whose name was mentioned over there in the book. And with the help, and he gave him a lot of topics for the project. And then what did he do? Richard E. Bright thought the disease might be carried by a beetle. What disease? he realized that he found the cause of a viral disease that kills all the monarch caterpillars. Okay, so he was finding the viral disease. So he came to a conclusion that maybe it's the reason of beetles. So he tried an experiment. What experiment was it? I went ahead and showed that I had tried the experiment. Okay, so he experimented over there, and then he understood that it was not the reason of beetles. So over there he tried this experiment and he later won the prize. So in the next year, his science fair project was testing the theory that viceroy butterflies copy monarchs. So there are different kinds of butterflies. You know that, viceroy and the monarchs. So he was trying to prove that viceroy butterflies copy monarch. There's monarch butterfly and the viceroy butterfly. So viceroy butterfly was copying the monarch butterfly. The theory was that viceroy looks like monarch because monarch don't taste good to birds. So the birds, what do? Certain birds only taste the monarch bird. So that was his research in the next year. So these were little things, and see, so initially in grade 7 he lost, but then on for grade 8 and the grade 9 he won prizes. And then later on what happened? He had a lot of questions in mind, because in a monarch pupa there would be golden spots in his body. So few of them thought it's basically a design, but then later on he said this particular designs were not just ornamental design, but then it is a hormone. Okay, this was his discovery. It's basically not a design, but it is basically producing a hormone necessary for the butterfly's full development. This was his study. And he also won the first place in the county fair and entry into the International Science and Engineering Fair. It's because of this result where he said these monarch butterfly had a design that 15 golden spots. Those golden spots were not just a design, but then it's basically a hormone. It will help for the development of the butterfly. Because of that, he got a chance to move into the International Science and Engineering Fair. And there what happened? He won again a third place for zoology. That is how he moved his first step, his second step, like that. And later on, as you all know, what happened? He also found in the end that DNA is a substance in the nucleus and of a cell that controls heredity. So it was later on, with his help of roommate James R. Wong, the name is mentioned in the textbook, he worked all the night drawing pictures, constructing classic models, and that's how he explained the theory. Okay. And later on you can say he took his graduation in Harvard University, and later on he won many honors and many things, and later on he was a researcher at the Harvard Medical School. Okay, so he was able to do all his experiments. And we can also know that Ebright, he was not only into this, but then he was a wonderful debater, a public speaker, and a good canoeist. Basically someone who's basically very good in racing the, you've seen these open boats, right? In that's basically called a canoeist. So he would love to have a race and all in that. So he was not just interested in this experiments, but then he was very good in reading, debater, public speaking, and also canoeist. He was also a wonderful canoeist. Then Richard always took that extra effort. Whatever he did, he always ensured that he took that extra effort because he wanted the thing to be perfect. And Richard wasn't always interested in winning things, but then he always ensured that it's not just for sake of winning. It's not just, okay, I'm doing this because I'm going to win a prize. No, but then he really loved and did that. Rather, he was winning because he wanted to do the best job he could. For the right reasons, he wants to be the best. Always he was a perfectionist. He always wanted to ensure that everything was at the best. This is one thing about Richard E. Bright. And also we came to them in the last paragraph very clearly. It says, and that is one of the ingredients in making of a scientist. Start with a first rate mind, add curiosity, and mix well. So basically his curiosity led him to be a wonderful scientist. You know, from the time the mother gifted the book, okay, The Travel of Monarch, then that was the beginning of how the world of science opened before him. Okay, this was something which we have to, because of his scientific curiosity, he became a wonderful scientist, and later he won the award for biochemistry and molecular biology. Okay, so this is about Richard E. Bright, a person who loved to collect the butterflies, who collected 25 species of butterfly and when he was in second grade, and later he did a lot of experiments, and in the end of experiments he has won the award for biochemistry and molecular biology, because basically his interest for the monarch butterflies and the DNA, all these kind of things, his understanding of DNA is basically the, so all these things something which we have to know about Richard E. Bright. Now moving on to the few important questions which might come. One thing, as I told you before, is the mother's influence. So you can say whatever he need, mother used to give it. The mother brought him the telescope, microscope, took him for trips, and whatever mounting materials he wanted. And also the biggest thing what the mother did was giving the gift of the book, The Travels of Monarch 10. Basically this was a basic turning point in Richard E. Bright's life. That's one question which is normally been seen in the question papers. Another thing what you can look into is how while he was in grade 7, he had a big struggle. What was the struggle? Basically he lost for an experiment. From that, what did he study from that experiment? That is one thing. That's one important question which might come. What did he study? He realized that, and what did he come to know about it? He also said that he has to do some real experiments and not to make a neat play. And then also he said, yeah, he was a little sad, but then he took a proper decision that he would do real experiments. That's how he was able to come over it in what happened in grade 7. Okay. So this is what has been explained in the chapter, The Making of a Scientist. No need to worry about the chapter. Only thing is you know who is Richard E. Bright and things like that. And one more thing is, according to the question paper pattern or according to the question paper syllabus, if you look into, most of the time we have not seen questions from this chapter. Okay, because it's just like fact. Okay, some information. There's nothing of creativity or nothing much. Yes, obviously there's creativity question, like imagine whether would you like to be a scientist, what would you can have, but then as an examination point of view, questions are not being asked from this chapter. There's nothing much to worry about. Just know the summary of it. Who was Richard E. Bright? What was his famous experiments? Things like that. Okay. So that's all for today's video. I hope you understood the video. So see you in the next video with a new chapter of new grade and a different grade. So until we meet in the next video, you take care and you stay safe. God bless you. Your name is signing off. Take care. Bye.